I'm going to show you the 8 most common objections you're going to hear when you pitch AI services, and I'm going to systematically destroy them one by one. I have heard every single one of these in real pitches, everything from can't I just use ChatGPT myself to my business is too specialized for AI, and every single one of them is complete BS. So for every objection, I'm going to give you the exact response that flips it on his head and helps you close the deal. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to show you how to handle the oldest objection in sales, the notorious let me think about it. Plus, I'm going to give you a free cheat sheet with all 8 objections and exactly how to overcome them. Enjoy the episode. These are the 8 most common objections you're going to get from people when you're pitching them AI services, and we are going to systematically destroy them one by one. So let's jump in. So the first one that you're going to get is, well, can I just use ChatGPT by myself, right? And you can sub out ChatGPT for Claude or whatever AI tool du jour that people are using. And an objection that, or an overcoming objection that works pretty well here is something, I like using this analogy of like, well, yeah, you can, the same way that you could do your own books with QuickBooks, right? But you're not an accountant and you're also not an AI expert. So what you're paying for here is someone who knows what to do. That's why I pay my accountant. That's why I pay my insurance agent. That's why I pay my landscaping guy. Could I do these things myself? Well, sure, I could. I don't want to, and I certainly don't want to spend the time to learn how. So that is how you destroy that first objection, probably the most common one. But when you explain it that way to people, the light bulb kind of turns on and they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to do my own taxes. I'm not going to do my own insurance. So the next one you're going to get is, and you don't get this one as often, but it comes up, right, usually from business owners who are just really skeptical. They've either been burned before or they just haven't really gotten deep into these tools to know what they're capable of. And that is when they say something like, well, I feel AI is overhyped and I'm not convinced that it works. And a lot of times the best way to overcome that objection is by explaining to them that, like, look, we're not just going to come in and throw a bunch of random AI tools at you. We're going to start with one concrete win so that you can see this stuff working in days, and then you can judge based on results and not just hype or not just the latest tool. So when you kind of bring it down to ground level and it's like, look, we're going to start one thing at a time. We're not going to come in and transform your business overnight, because anybody promising you that is not being truthful and not being realistic. So it's like, look, let's start with results and let's go from there, right? So we've got 6 more to work through, but before we do, just real quick, so you guys don't worry about taking notes. If you want these full 8 objections in kind of like a cheat sheet format, as well as a little how to use these section, I threw them in Notion. You can get them completely free, link in the description or in the show notes. And it's literally just like a checklist / cheat sheet of all of these objections so that you can just have them in one place for the future. So when we get to the third one here, right, this one's kind of common. And when they say something like it's too expensive, right? And that usually they're not referring to the AI tool itself. Like you can get Claude for $20 a month or ChatGPT for $20 a month. Usually when you hear that it's too expensive objection, it's in relation to how much you're charging as an AI service provider or consultant, right? And this is where you just flip the script and frame it around the ROI. It's like, look, yeah, I might be charging you $5,000 or $10,000 or more, but look at what you're getting back, not what you're paying, right? If a few $1,000s buys back 5 hours a week or unlocks more revenue or increases the quality of your product or service, then the expensive option here is not doing anything. The expensive option here is taking no action. The cheap option here would actually be paying me to fix your problem, right? So that is how we defeat the it's too expensive objection. In my mind, that's the easiest one to overcome because you can always bring it back to ROI. And if you've done a good job of scoping out the pain point and really quantifying how much it's costing them, and then doing what salespeople call twisting the knife, of really making it clear to them how much it's hurting them right now, then the it's too expensive objection gets absolutely destroyed. Next, I don't have time for this right now, right? And I love that objection because it's so short-sighted on the end of the business owner that you're pitching. Because it's like, look, yeah, you don't have time, and that's the problem that we're looking to solve here. You don't have time because you're so buried in the weeds of your day-to-day business, you don't have the time to fix the thing that's keeping you buried. So let us come in and free you up and fix those things so that you can focus on what you're good at and we can focus on getting you unstuck as the business owner. Again, this is the same argument that you could make for, it's like, well, yeah, I don't hire, like, I don't do my own insurance. I don't do my own taxes. I'm going to bring somebody in to free me up so that I don't have to spend time doing those things. It's the same situation here, right? They're paying you for their expertise and to buy them back time or make them more money. Fifth objection here, I've tried AI before, but I didn't get good results. And this is usually the case with most business owners. Like, most business owners, when they're using AI for the first time, especially if they're just like tinkering themselves or if they're just going off of what they're learning on YouTube, rarely are they getting good results the first time around. The people that are getting good results with AI are in the weeds and they know what questions to ask. They know what to look for. And I think that a lot of business owners expect AI to be like a magic wand that they just wave and all of a sudden everything's automated or everything's off their plate. And this is an objection that we overcome by saying, like, look, you probably jumped straight into AI and started just building things or started tinkering with things instead of doing it the right way, which is auditing your existing workflows and figuring out where does AI actually make sense in the first place, right? Because what we do is we run what we call an effort versus impact matrix on your existing workflows so that we can stack rank in priority order the exact parts of your business where AI can actually help, and we ignore those ones where AI is not going to make as big of an impact, or the areas where AI is going to be too difficult to implement. Maybe there is an impact opportunity, but it's going to take too much effort to unlock that, right? So usually, again, if a business owner thinks that AI didn't get them good results because they've tried it before, it's because they approached the problem in the complete wrong way. So that's how we overcome that one. Next, and this is my favorite one, I hear this all the time. It's like, oh, well, my business is too specialized for AI, or what we do is so unique, there's no way that AI can actually help us because we're one of a kind, right? And that's a false belief. A lot of business owners say this. I'd say most of them probably say this. But at the end of the day, every business runs on things like follow-up and quoting and scheduling and emails. And really every business runs on the 5 pillars of an AI operating system: sales, marketing, finance, operations, and intelligence. So when a business owner says that they're unique, it's like, well, really you're not. At your core, you're the same as every other business out there. Every business has those 5 pillars. So we're going to map all of your workflows within each of those pillars so that we can, again, start from the areas that have the most opportunity for leverage, not just apply a generic template, right? If we just applied a generic template, then you could make the argument that your business is too specialized for AI. But at the end of the day, every business has those same 5 pillars. And if you work from those first principles, you're going to get much better results. Next, this is another common one. And this is probably the objection that is grounded in the most logic, right? This is a legitimate concern for a lot of business owners. Is maybe they see the potential of AI, they see the opportunity, but they're afraid of like replacing their best people or scaring off their best people. How many business owners have you talked to? I've certainly talked to quite a few who are like, well, I don't really want to start with AI because I don't want my people to think that I'm trying to replace them, which again is a huge limiting belief and is a fault on the part of the business owner for not conveying to their team the value that AI can provide them as employees and helping them do their job better and helping them do the parts of their job that they actually enjoy, right? Free them up from the parts of the job that they hate. That's the best way to explain that to a business owner. So how we overcome that objection is like, look, AI does the opposite. It's not going to replace your people. It's going to pull the grunt work off of your team so that they can do the job that you actually hired them for. We automate tasks, not roles, right? Now, I say all that to say, yeah, there are some roles that AI agents can and should be doing, right? But we don't lead with that. We don't come in promising to replace half their team. That's usually a turnoff for most people. And then lastly is the classic objection. You're going to get this regardless of what you're selling. If you're selling anything, you're going to get this objection, and it is the let me think about it or let me talk to my partner. And sometimes this is a legitimate objection. Like, I wouldn't make a big purchase or decision without consulting with my partner first. But a lot of times this is just a smokescreen designed to put off making a decision or designed to say no in a nice way. So a lot of times the best way to overcome this is just saying, look, the real decision is considering the fact that every week you wait is another chunk of hours that you're spending on a task that could be automated or that we could have handed off to AI, right? And at the end of the day, the cost of starting is relatively small, especially if we're pitching them just a $999 AI assessment, right? It's like, look, for under $1,000, you can start really small, and that's going to show you where the opportunities lie. But the cost of staying stuck, the cost of you doing nothing, is going to compound. That same task that's costing you 4 hours this week is going to cost you 4 hours next week, and it's going to keep costing you 4 hours a month from now. Or if you scale the business, which you should, maybe that 4-hour task turns into 8 hours, right? Then what are you going to do? Then the cost of staying complacent is astronomical. So just keep that in mind when deciding whether you want to think about it or whether you truly want to move forward, right? That's something that I would say to a business owner in that context. So we just touched on 8 very common objections that you're going to get in the AI services world. These really apply to if you're selling anything, you're going to get some form of these objections. And just remember that if you want the cheat sheet here, I put them all in Notion and put them in a really simple to digest format. Again, you can grab this for free at the link in the description or in the show notes. If you like these sales tip style videos that help you make more money and close more deals with AI, leave a comment or send me a DM on social. I'm at Corey Ganem on every social channel. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I will be back with more soon.